So when we first built this coop and run, I just put a little bit of straw, both some small straw and a little bit of the bigger straw down to help soak up some of the poop and just to give them a nice surface to walk on. But I'm going to add today some things to the bottom of the coop for moisture absorption and whatnot. I'm going to add some of this dry den horse bedding that has some zeolites which absorb odor. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of shredded aspen, and then I've got this flock fresh bedding that is good for the base. So let's see how this goes. So I literally just dumped the bag out and I am going to spread it around with my rake. While we're in here, I happen to notice that this feeder is empty and this one here still has some in it, but I need to put some more in this one, so that's a good thing I came under. The thing I like about this system is that I can take the top off and just pour the feed in from the top. So let's do that. I'm just using an old feeder that I had for them when they were chicks, and I'm just taking the last of it out of there so that it doesn't get wasted. Okay, so that was all I had. So let's step up in here and see if we can see. Oh yeah, look at that. We are nice and full now. And we screw the top back on tight so that no water or moisture gets in there, and we are done. Well, folks, that wasn't the problem. The problem was that moisture got up in there and got the food stuck and molded it. Now I don't know what to do because the fresh feed has come down once I unplugged the hole, but there's still moldy food up there on the edges. So I'm gonna have to solve this problem. I'm not sure how. So here's how I am solving it so far. I'm pulling the feed out and putting it in this bucket, and I'm going to try to empty this whole tube and then see if I can clean it out. Okay, so I got up in there with my curved blade and pulled everything out. And from what I can tell, it was coming from right there. So what I think is that we had a lot of rain and that the moisture kind of leaked in a little at a time. That needs to be sealed up or caulked or something. So I think that's all the problem was. So I've got all the wet stuff out and now I'm going to refill it. Okay, next up on the chicken chores is to give their dust bath a little refresh. So I've got some medium grit, kind of coarse sand here I'm going to add to their dust bath. Inside the dust bath is some dirt, some sand, some diatomaceous earth, some lime, and obviously a little straw that they've tracked in. So we're going to add some sand. And then I'll just mix it around. I'll keep this for any time the dust bath needs a little refresh. And we'll give that a stir and see if it should do it. Hopefully they like that. And let's get back to refreshing the coop. Okay, now that I have spread the dry den bedding out, I'm going to add a little bit of the shredded aspen all the way to the underside there. And we'll spread that out and then we'll do the third one. So why am I doing this, you might ask? Well, it's about to get hot here, and hot weather does not mix well with chicken poop smell. So I just want to freshen things up. So I've got my dry den, which is basically compressed pine pellets. And I've got some of that aspen. And now we're going to add on a layer of this flock fresh bedding into the run. All right, and just like that, we have a fresh layer of bedding in the coop, a fresh freshened up, I should say, dust bath area. And then I went inside the coop. Sorry, this is the run, obviously. Went inside the coop and kind of did a little bit of maintenance in there and stirred things around. We use a deep litter system. So I just kind of went in there and stirred the pot a little bit to bury some of the stuff. I'm fairly certain that what's happening is that when it rains, the rain is coming down here and it's getting into this seal here. I did this by myself one day, and it was very difficult to get this structure through the hole and glued and have it be straight. So I had a hard time with it, and it doesn't surprise me really that I didn't get a good seal in there because it was herky trying to do it as one person. So we're just gonna seal it up with some quad caulk. Hopefully that will work. I've got my gloves, a little wet paper towel, and a dry one, and we're just gonna put a bead around the outside of this. Okay, now's the time for full disclosure that I've never actually caulked anything before. But we're gonna give this a shot. I'm gonna put a bead around there and push it in there with my glove, and hopefully it will work. Oh boy. Like I said, I'm a newbie here. But how hard could it be, right? It's caulk. I think that the finger is going to be the better thing here. Let's just try that. See what happens when we rub that in. Oh, see, I like that. Okay. I'm making a bit of a mess, but that's all right. Let's try it over here now. Okay, so not the prettiest, but let's see, did I get it all the way back there? Yeah, I think that's a piece of grass. All right, so not the prettiest, but it is now sealed. And yes, I'm aware that I used gloves that are meant for dishwashing, but hey, I didn't want that shit on my fingers, so there you go. Now it's on the gloves. All right, let's hope that when this dries, it will seal it up, and when it rains, all the water will run off. And these girls won't have to have moldy food. Say goodbye, Gracie.